Good. Do you have that money with you?
Yeah.
Won't you read? Won't you get done? Okay, Brianna, go. All right, Miss Brey. Caldwell. All right, you are reading Tuck Everlasting by Natalie Babbitt. Tell me what you love about this book.
I like that, like, I never know what's going to come next.
Okay, what else? Anything else? What else do you love about it?
That, like,
Here's something.
when the man in the yellow suit came to winning thing, I love how, like, her grandma just ignored him.
Okay, why would the author have the grandma ignore him?
Maybe she knows him.
But what if the grandma had noticed him? What would have happened?
She probably would have started yelling at him and yelled at Winnie because she was talking to a stranger.
And then maybe he would go away and then the story wouldn't be that good.
Yeah.
The author purposely makes things happen that you don't expect. It's called contrast and contradiction. Is there anything that's frustrating though about this book?
I can't get through it, it's so hard.
What do you mean it's so hard?
But there's a lot of words that I don't know.
Okay. Okay. So most of the time when books are hard, kids give up.
Yeah.
So what's kept you going on when you feel like you want to give up?
Well, Capitol was telling me to keep reading. Keely told me to keep reading.
Mm-hmm.
And I keep wanting to give up, but it's so hard.
But they're encouraging
It's a
you.
good book also.
It is. So if you really, so are these words that you had a hard time with? You want to look
Yeah.
at some of those? We talked about accusingly, right?
Yeah, I don't know if that.
Marionette. Now that's a word you just have to look up. Have you ever heard of a marionette puppet? That it's those
Oh,
like
the
wooden
ones on
puppets.
string.
Yeah. So that's on page 18. So let's see why they said that. So it says he laughed, gesturing in self-deprecation. You probably don't know that word either, do you? With long, thin fingers. His tall body moved continuously. So visualize this. His tall body moved continuously. A foot tapped, a shoulder twitched, and it moved in angles rather jerkily. But at the same time, he had a kind of grace, like a well-handled marionette. So what does it mean?
He moved like a...
Carefully and gracefully. Okay, I have a question then. So the author created him to move carefully and gracefully. Is that something a good guy would do or a bad guy would do? Or is that going to... Why?
He doesn't know what's going to happen next and he's like jittery. And
Okay.
like he's nervous.
Okay. It says he laughed, gesturing in self-deprecation with long, thin fingers. His tall body moved continuously. So then he said, what does that mean? Let's read back here. A lovely thing to do on a summer evening, said the man richly. A lovely entertainment. I used to do it myself when I was your age, but of course that was a long, long time ago. He laughed, gesturing in self-deprecation. Self-deprecating is when you make fun of yourself, kind of. He says, that was a long, long time ago. He's saying, I'm so old. So it's kind of making fun of himself.
He sounds like it.
Mm-hmm. So let's see, is this where you are now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what's happening here? What part do you want here? Okay, I want you to read that to me.
Nonsense. It's elves, crowded her grandmother ecstatically.
Excitedly?
And then she said to the man at the gate, you'll have to excuse us now. She shook the gate latch under his nose to make sure it was locked. And then, taking Winnie by hand once more, she marched up the path into the cottage, shutting the door firmly behind her.
Okay, keep going.
But the man in the yellow suit stood tapping his foot in the road for a long time, all along, looking at the wood. The last stains of sunset had melted away and the twilight died too. As he stood there, though it remained.
No, let's look at it carefully. No, not longy. It's only 3 letters. That's longy, not longy, shorty. What sound does knee make? Not E. What's the other sound? No, E. What sound does knee make?
E.
What's the other sound it makes? That's an O. What sound does that letter make? What's the other sound? What's that word?
Egg.
What's that word?
Egg.
So what sound does the E make?
Eh.
Eh.
Red.
Rim?
Names.
No, there's no M there. Nance. Remnants. Remnants is like extra things left over. So let's go back and start all over. So
As he stood there, though,
it remnants.
Clung.
Okay, go slow. So take your finger here. Look at them. Do you see any part of that word you might know? You know that word. That part. Okay. Do that? Yep.
Reluctant.
Do you see you did it? You need to start doing that, okay?
Reluctantly. To everything that was pale in color. Pebbles, the dusty road, the figure of the man himself, turning them blue and blurred.
Okay, so when you struggle with a paragraph like that, now you probably forgot what the whole thing was about, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to go back. Now, I'm going to read it. I want you to now think, if this was you reading, what would you think about? But the man in yellow suit stood tapping his foot in the road for a long time alone, looking at the wood. That means the woods. The last stains of sunset had melted away, and the twilight died too as he stood there, though its remnants clung. What? The remnants of what?
Sunset.
Clung reluctantly to everything that was pale in color. So that means the sunset. If you visualize this, it's going away, but it's barely the color sticking to a few things, right?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, pebbles, the dusty road, the figure of the man himself, turning them blue and blurry. So they're trying to make you visualize that, okay? So you keep with it, and if you don't get to finish this book, that's okay. Well, so if you don't get to finish it because it's so hard, that's okay. All right? We're going to have a new book in a couple of weeks. If you want to put this book to the side and read another one, then we can do that. If you want to stick with it, you can. Okay, what do you want to do?
Stick with.
Okay. Has anything surprised you about this book?
Yeah, I didn't know that, like, when we were in chapter 6 yesterday, I didn't know that, like, over there I put that I didn't think that Winnie and they were going to meet anymore. Because at first I thought they were, but then I thought they weren't. So then and then yesterday I didn't know if they kissed.
But were they being mean, or were they trying to
They
do
were
the right
trying
thing?
to help.
Sometimes do people do some things that are wrong for the right reason?
Yeah. But it didn't make sense because in the beginning it said she wanted to leave. And then when they kidnapped
So
her.
she's not going to be too sad about that. I know. So what strategies do you think you're using a lot of? What do you use most? Do you visualize? Do you ask questions? Are you inferring, making connections?
Yeah, I made like big questions.
Okay, so I want you to start writing those down on Post-its, okay? So
I have a zipper bag.
oh my goodness, okay. What do you think you need to work on? What's the strategy?
The syntax.
Synthesize? You know what I think, what about visualize? Do you need to go back and reread and get those pictures in your head? No? Okay, synthesize? Do you know what synthesize is?
Yeah.
What is it?
What I think I know.
Yeah. So right now, how would you rate this book? And you don't have to put it a 5. You can put it where you think, and it could change.
4.
Okay, we'll put it a 4. And it might end up a 3 or a 5. Okay, anything else you want to tell me before you go on?
Yeah.
What?
I want to know the name. Well, okay, let's read the back of my book. So I read the back of my book. It said what would change if the man in yellow suit didn't get killed.
Why would you read the book?
She wrote that one.
It's a great thing. Keep reading. You'll love it. Okay? All right, thank you.
Give me a...
Yes.